Welcome back to the second hour of People Are Talking. From time to time on this program, we deal with very heavy issues. We have a heavy issue that we're going to be dealing with today. Let me introduce my guest to you, and you'll understand what that issue is. Lynn M is 44 years old. Lynn, can I ask you how much you weigh?
You can. I won't answer you.
Why not?
It's irrelevant. I don't know how much I weigh. I have no interest in weighing myself. It doesn't serve any purpose. I'm not on any medication. It's titrated according to my body weight. It's irrelevant.
Are you sexy?
Absolutely.
Are you attractive?
Absolutely.
Other people find you sexy and attractive as well?
Absolutely.
Okay. Victoria Reed, can I ask you how much you weigh?
Sure. I'm 5'10". I weigh 350 pounds.
Are you happy weighing 350 pounds?
Yes, I am.
When you look in the mirror, even when you're getting dressed in the morning, are you happy with what you see?
Very happy. I think I'm a dynamite, sexy woman. Right in front of the mirror, naked right after the shower.
Diane Wilowski?
Wildowski.
Excuse me. You are our fashion representative today, and you started a line of fashion clothes for women who are larger because they can't find clothing that is sexy and attractive to themselves. Did you have the problem yourself?
Yeah, that's how I got started with this business. About 4 years ago, I put on about 40, or actually 60 pounds more than I had then. And when I started shopping in the large size women's department, I just couldn't find the kind of clothes I wanted.
Do you mind if I ask you how much you weigh?
The last time I checked, it was about 245.
245.
But that was months ago.
In your clothing, are you sexy and attractive?
Oh, I think so.
Do men turn their heads and look at you? Do you find
Well,
that?
I've been dating a guy for the past 4 years.
And what does he say about you?
He loves me this way.
Bob Cox, a male member of the panel today, 25 years old, you're single. Do you mind if I ask you how much you weigh?
Yeah, I weigh 380.
380. Are you an attractive man?
Sure.
Do you meet women?
Mm-hmm.
Are they attracted to you?
Mm-hmm.
You're happy with your weight?
Just fine.
Okay. Also joining us on the end right here, exotically attired, are JoAl Byrne and Ronda Wood. JoAl, excuse me. It's JoAl, right? Okay, JoAl Byrne and Ronda Wood. You're in belly dancer outfits today. I know you do this. You belly dance for people. You have more to dance with than most belly dancers.
Yes, most belly dancers don't even have one. So
most belly dancers don't even have one. Are you sexy and attractive?
absolutely. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
How do men react when you get up and shake what you've got?
Depends on the man and whether he's open or closed
Open or close to what?
to women and their whole personalities as opposed to just, surface looks.
But there are some men who are like that.
Well, they're not interesting.
But there are some men who go gaga over you when you shake, rattle, and belly roll, right? Yeah. You call yourselves the Sexiness.
Yes.
And we're going to be looking at some of your dancing later on in the show. That's our panel today. Please welcome all of them to People Are Talking. Did any of you ever have a problem with your weight for yourself? Did any of you ever feel like you were unattractive, like you didn't fit in? You did, Lynn? What was that time like? What happened to you?
Well, I spent the first 39 years of my life feeling as if I was a second-class citizen.
In what ways? What happened to you? What incidents took place?
From an early age, from about the age of 8, my family has had me on diets. And then when I was old enough to do things for myself, I was on diets. I think I've been on every diet that there has been.
Were they successful?
No. And no diet is successful. If you read the statistics of the studies that have been done more recently, only 2 to 5% of diets are successful. The benchmark of being a successful diet is a dieter is somebody that can lose weight and keep it off for 5 years. There are very few people that can do that.
Did you get depressed about all of this?
Of course. And you live in a world that is made for thin people. You sit on the bus and you don't sit in the seat. You go to the theater and the seats are too small. You can't buy clothing. I can't buy sexy lingerie. I can't buy evening clothes, fancy shoes.
What about
even
the
a
way
bracelet? Even a bracelet doesn't fit me. I have to wear have it custom made, or wear a man-sized gold bracelet. I mean, things are not made for big women in this country.
How about the way people treated you? Did they ever turn to you and say, why don't you lose weight?
Well, I've lost 2 jobs because of my weight.
2 jobs?
2 jobs, and one, in fact, was in the garment industry We're the manufacturer who does produce clothing for large-sized women.
Have any of you had people come right out and call you names because of your weight?
That happens on a daily basis. I walk and I go to an aerobics class, and every time I'm seen on the street, without a fail, every single time, someone has something negative to say. We're in a society that
What
wants...
do they say? What kinds of things? What can they say? If people were to call you names because of your race or your religion when you walk down the street, most of us would say, that's despicable and that's not acceptable in this country.
Well, we are dealing with the last stage prejudice, and it's all predicated that fat people can do something about their so-called condition. If 2 to 5% of the people can achieve this goal, I think that's saying that most people cannot achieve that goal. And in a recent study by Tufts University, 63% of our school-age children are obese. And that's despite the fact that $32 billion was spent on the weight loss industry. It's time for our society to wake up, to accept that some will be thin, some will be fat, to accept that natural condition, to eat a nutritious diet, not starve themselves, get exercise for the sake of exercise because it feels good, and be accepting of everyone, the very small and the very large, and everyone in between.
I want to identify some of this prejudice, see where it comes from. What do they say to you?
Well, I was walking across the street to the Javits Center to see the cat show last year, and two guys pulled up in a car beside me, and they said, hey, are they going to charge you double to get in? I mean, they would not do that to somebody else. Now, I personally do not experience a lot of the prejudice that a lot of my friends do. I think I have a presence, and I think people would think twice before they say anything to me.
So what have they said to you?
Basically to the effect, there's a lot of laughing, the old basic fatso, what are you even doing out on the street? And I think, since I do feel good about myself, and I do go out dancing every weekend, I try to wear, nice, sexy clothes, it offends people that I do feel good about myself. They'd rather have you be fat and stay in the closet. They don't want to see you out there being larger than life and having a good time.
Like Walter Hudson, who stayed home for 7 years.
And that is what this society has done.
Yeah, he has a medical and a health problem, but still he was even afraid to leave the house.
And there are many, many people that are like that. I heard a statistic the other day that there's something like 5 million people like that are shut away in this country and who people never see. But, you walk down the street and you can see parents turning to their small children, and that child grows up with that prejudice. And then these children, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional here, but these children then grow up teaching their children to criticize us, and it's a never-ending cycle.
JoAl, Ronda, how did you get to the point where you would feel comfortable enough to dance in front of people fairly scantily clad?
Yeah, it's a long, long process. I became a member of the National Association for the Advancement of Fat Acceptance. It was now in 77, and stopped dieting at that time. I, too, had a history somewhat similar to Lynn, being on amphetamines when I was 12, going through diet after diet for 15 years, until I said, this is not working. I really feel that yo-yo dieting tends to make people get bigger and bigger each time they try to lose a large amount of weight. So it's a long process. It took me from that time till, I would say, when we started belly dancing a couple of years ago, to really say, yes, before that I had been into movement. JoAl and I had started doing aerobics several years ago together just to feel good and be fit. We got out dancing. When we started the belly dancing lessons, we were just obsessed. We fell in love with the whole idea, with the costumes, and wanted to get out in front of people because we said, people are people are sexy regardless of their size, and we have a right to our bodies and a right to have fun with them.
Are there some men who get turned on just because you're large, do you think?
Yeah.
There are some men who really just love it.
Yeah.
Are there men in your lives? Are you married? Do you have boyfriends?
I'm divorced.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
divorced? You're dating around. Well, what do the men say to you? Do they say...
They say you're beautiful, you're attractive. I love it. I have a theory about kind of a continuum. Well, I think a lot of things fall into a bell-shaped curve. And I think there are some men who are attracted, by very firm, not too jiggly bodies. And then there's a large number of people in the middle, men who are attracted to, fairly jiggly bodies. And then there's continuing down to the end where there's men who are really attracted to very large women, and they enjoy the sensuality. And
what do men say to you? Do you ever say you have a great
body?
Great belly? Yeah, I mean, like some guys would say, oh, great legs, honey, or I love your lips. They would say to you, you have a great belly.
Right, yeah.
And they love it.
Yeah.
Even in my resume,
They admire cellulite.
have what you said, gigolosity, which is the dynamics of the fat moving.
Yes.
And if you're on a waterbed, you don't know where the heck you are, right? Everything's moving in all different directions. Bob, is it different being a man, or do you identify with some of the stories you're hearing here?
I know that when I was younger, I felt pretty bad about myself.
Did you ever have women say things to you that were derogatory or that were hurtful?
No, not really. And I don't experience the problem with the daily confrontations with people making derogatory comments at all anyway.
Well, that's true in our society in general. Men in our society, the way we are right now, probably feel freer to make comments to women walking down the street than other men do to men or women do to men in our society in general for all people.
Right.
What, do you have a girlfriend or a wife?
Yes, girlfriend.
You have a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
What, does she ever try to get you to lose weight?
No.
She accepts this?
No. She's heavy as well. She accepts it just fine, as I accept her.
And you accept her body and you love her.
Yeah.
And you're turned on by her body as well.
Yeah.
And she's turned on by yours. So you guys are just as happy. The rest of us, like, I feel like I'm always overweight. And I'm always trying to eat less. Well, you're laughing at me. What? I'm always trying to say, I gotta get to the gym. I gotta do some sit-ups. I can't look at my own belly and say it's beautiful. And you've got all these guys saying your belly is beautiful. Is there something wrong with me?
The way of looking at things.
Yeah, I think we all are trying to, or people in general try to measure themselves against some media ideal that, again, only a small percentage of the population can actually aspire to. We're born genetically with a certain body shape. Some people will always be skinny. You know, they're not able to build themselves up and be muscular hunks. Some people will always be larger. That's just the way it is.
Well, do you have an idea, a body image ideal? Do you look at somebody and say, yeah, I think this person looks great? Like, I thought of Richard Gere. I go, boy, I'd have to do sit-ups between now and election day, and I still wouldn't look like Richard Gere. Is there anybody that you admire in terms of their body who accepts it?
Yeah, but Richard, the point is that we accept ourselves for who we are. The world is made up of different colors, different religions, different eye shades, different hair colors. As individuals, we should accept ourselves for who we are. I hated myself when I was a dress size 14. I went through 4 years of agony thinking how fat and ugly I was. I am happier today at the size I am today because I have finally come to terms with the fact that who cares? This is who I am. Who I am is my personality, what I do, what I think and believe, and that's what's important. And I look at your audience here, I'm looking at all different sizes and shapes, and they're great people. I mean, I don't have a problem with any of them. Why should they have a problem with me?
We promised you that we give our audience a chance to see your act and to see the great belly dancing that you do. So we're going to ask you to unclip your mic. And if you'll put your hands together, please, give them some heavy encouragement. They are the Fatimas.
Tracy Hunt's accurate forecast for your future will astound you. Be part of our live studio audience on Monday, November 14th.
Diesel mechanics make good money. Best way to learn is working alongside a pro at Apex Tech. Engines, transmissions, brakes, the works. As you learn to use each tool, it goes in your toolbox. In 6 months, when you get your certificate and we recommend you for a job, the toolbox is full and it's yours to keep. Call us. Find out how much financial assistance towards your training you're entitled to from the government. Now, I can't call you. Go up and call us now. 633-6300.
If you've been injured through the negligence of others, you not only need answers about your medical condition, but you should also be asking questions about your legal rights. You may be entitled to compensation.
Call Davis & Lee if you've been injured in any kind of accident. 24 hours a day, simply dial LAWYERS. Dialing lawyers will provide you a free phone consultation to learn if you may be due a cash settlement or court award.
I've been expecting you. Your destiny awaits. The voices from ancient Egypt call out. Are you ready? The lovers. You will soon fall madly in love. Next, the Two of Cups. You will have luck beyond your wildest dreams. And now, a card of adventure. The world is yours.
New York, call 540-CO, $2.95 per call. New Jersey, call 1-900-999-3000, 99 cents a minute.
You can't go to the farm. He's in a bad mood. He has a period. Maybe you should stay home, baby.
If you've had it with a nonsense, use Body Sense with OB. OBs have body sense because they're really sensitive in the way you use them, the way they fit, and how they work. OB with body sense means you can forget all the nonsense.
All right.
OB tampons. Body sense, not nonsense.
Let me ask the men out here. Were you turned on by that at all? Anybody out here? What did you think, sir? You're so squinting.
No, I enjoyed it. I mean, after all, the people got to do what they got to do.
It was very sensuous, I would say, wasn't it? Hey, man, what do you think looking at that?
To each his own.
To each his own.
Yep.
But would that
Not
be,
for me.
But not for you.
Nope, for me.
You want what? A nice skinny woman instead of a nice
Not really.
bigger woman?
Not really, but this is not my style.
Well, you're leaning back already here. Okay. What?
I'm terrified of you.
You're terrified of me.
Well, I don't know, really.
Don't worry, you're not my type. All right. Before we were in the green room, Barbara Howell was a guest in the first hour. And she came up to you, Bob, and she was saying, I think you're an attractive man, but if you were my husband and you had a heart attack because of your weight, I would be very upset. And if I loved you and found you attractive and cared about you, I would probably want you to lose weight for your health. What's your response to someone who says they love you and they want you to lose weight for health reasons?
Okay. I would love to be able to lose the weight, but as Wayne and Victoria were talking about before, that's not likely to happen. 97-98% of the people in this country are not able to do it. At one time in my life, I did lose 100 pounds. I went from 325 down to 225.
Did you feel differently?
No. In fact, I thought that I hadn't lost any weight at all. I still felt very fat. It was body image.
Okay, I have some dietitians here sitting in the front row of the audience. If one of the members of our panel today came to you and asked you for your advice, what would that be?
I don't think they can. I think they're happy. I think they have a positive mental image, and that's part of health. They have a good mental image.
All right, but let's just say hypothetically that they came to you and said, what would you, I'm very happy with the way that I am. I'm sexy. People love me the way that I am. What would you tell them? Fine?
I'd only want to evaluate the quality of their diet, not the quantity. And I think there are a lot of thin people who eat poorly, and they have as much risk of heart disease as anybody who's overweight and eats poorly. So I'd look at quality. I wouldn't question them about losing pounds and going to extraordinary means to lose weight. I'd want them to eat well to be healthy.
Okay, do you eat well? Or do you go on stinky binges or
Do you have a good diet? Yes, I generally do. Occasionally I do have a junk food, but on the whole, my diet is perfectly wholesome.
We've seen so many people go to extremes to lose weight.
Yes.
Stomach stapling. We've seen little balloons that they'll shove down your throat and blow them up so that you'll lose your appetite. We've seen people have plastic surgery, liposuction. They have a machine that'll suck the fat right out of your body. Boy, you're laughing at all these things.
It's no laughing matter. 50,000 people have died in this country because of weight loss surgery. It is not a laughing matter. And we have thousands of other women in this country because they are so afraid of becoming fat that they become anorexic and they become bulimic and they die.
And I believe the infertility rate in this country is due to the fact that everybody, male and female, is on a diet. You need to have a certain amount of body fat to be able to produce children, and I think everybody is so diet conscious to lose weight, not diet conscious to be healthy, but diet conscious to lose weight, that our entire systems in this country are being messed up.
Some people might think as well that you can't have a happy sex life if you're...
Hungry all the time.
Well, or, no, I guess if you're that large. I mean, I guess some people...
No, mine's fine. I mean, I'm talking about people who are anorexic. If you're dieting and if you're hungry all the time, you can't think of anything else, and you're a miserable person. We're not miserable. We don't diet. We don't go on binges. I like to go to McDonald's. I don't even eat Twinkies. Can't remember when I've had one.
But you can have a happy sex life?
Absolutely.
You don't get to... I mean, they would think maybe you would get tired out in bed because there's so much...
When we do our regular performance, we dance for 20 to 30 minutes straight. So we have no problems in the endurance department.
Why is that such a difficult concept for people to accept? If you have some imagination, you have some caring, some desire, you're going to have wonderful lovemaking.
And you do.
And I do.
Okay, we have a phone call right now from a man who is attracted. No? Oh, this is a viewer phone call? Okay, they dropped the other phone call, I guess? Okay, we have a telephone call right now. Good morning, you're on the air.
Hello. I just do not understand how these people can come out in public and say that they are happy with their body. I just find it appalling. To me,
All right, we can't see you. What is your body like?
I have an average body. I wear a size 10 pants. I'm tall. I'm 5'8". I'm average. I don't find how men can find these women attractive.
You are average?
Yes.
And you're happy with your body?
I would like to lose some weight, but
You'd like to? Because you're not happy.
Oh, I'm happy. My boyfriend's happy with my body. I mean, I just cannot...
Well, if you're happy, what do you want to lose weight?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I feel that
because the
I'm a little
media
overweight.
and our society tells her that she should want to lose weight.
Yeah. I don't think so.
All right. Okay, let me get to your point. You're saying you're a bit offended that they're happy with the way that they are.
Not that they're happy, but I mean, I don't see how they could just walk around and say that they want to be sexy in these sexy clothes, and I just cannot see how anyone would be turned on by that.
So what should they do?
They should lose weight.
They should lose weight.
And
in the meantime, they should not be sexy.
I don't see how they could feel
She is very prejudiced.
We should throw sheets over them and let them walk around like big tents walking around the street.
They look like big tents with the clothes they're in.
What?
They look like tents with the clothes they're in. So what's the difference?
Well, you just said that you felt that you should lose some weight.
But I don't look like that. I would never look like that.
Well, maybe not if you're genetically...
I would lock myself in a closet first.
When I first started talking about starting my business, an old family friend had said to me, well, look, why don't you just lose the weight and forget the business? And I said to him, because I live in New York City, and I go to work every day, and I have to dress nicely, and I have to look good, and I want to look good and dress nicely, and I can't find those things out there. So his response to me was, lose the weight. I said, so his wife said, what's she going to do in the meantime? And I said, that's it. I said, I'm here today. I could die tomorrow. I'm here today. Today, I want to look the best I can.
What do you do when you go to the beach?
Wear a bathing suit.
You wear a bathing suit.
The way anybody else does.
You wear a bikini?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You wear a bikini on the beach?
Absolutely.
And you guys do too?
I don't have a bikini bathing suit.
Would you ever wear a miniskirt?
Yeah.
We'd wear mini skirts.
If I like. But I have a comment for that lady. I feel really sorry for her because she does not like herself. And I love myself just the way I am.
Yeah, if I could jump in with a comment to our caller, too, is that I'd like people to notice that there's a strong element of wanting to punish fat people, and this is perpetuated in the minds of fat people themselves who say, well, when I lose weight, I'll have a boyfriend. When I lose weight, I'll go to school. When I lose weight, when I lose weight, when I lose weight. And their lives are going by,
Dead time is now to do all those things.
Yeah, and there's no reason to punish us for being who we are.
Do any of you ever wear sexy lingerie when you go to bed? You do.
Or nothing.
Or nothing. Or nothing at all. When we come back, we're going to take a look at some sexy lingerie for larger women. It is a lingerie fashion show that may surprise you. This guy's shouting out, "Show me." We're going to show all of you in just a moment. Stay with us.
Don't miss comedian Steve Allen's incisive wit. Be part of our live studio audience on Friday, November 11th.
When you need a home equity loan and nobody's home at the bank, call Statewide Capital. 1-800-DIAL-CASH and turn your phone into a cash machine. Even if you've been turned down by the bank, Statewide Capital says yes to second mortgage home equity loans at low fixed rates without broker's fees. So call Statewide Capital. 1-800-DIAL-CASH and turn your phone into a cash machine.
If you ran a business, which would you hire? A good typist or a good typist who can also use a computer word processor that does routine record keeping at computer speed? At Apex Business School, you learn the skills you need to get a job and move up on the job all in 6 months. And you get a computer of your own to keep. Call us. Find out about financial assistance towards your training you may be entitled to from the government. And see our job placement record. 242-0505.
I'm Doug Llewellyn for the law offices of Balkan and Doran. If you think accidents just happen to the other guy, you're wrong. At some point, an accident may touch your life, and if it does, the law firm you choose could be the most important decision you ever make. Trust the Balkan and Doran. Their practice is limited to helping accident victims. Dial 1-800-4-LAWYERS. The call is toll-free, and you will speak to an established lawyer in your area. That's 1-800-4-LAWYERS.
Nicole LeClaire got pregnant, in part because she had a fight with her boyfriend. Teresa Olson is a mother now because she didn't get the instructions along with a package of contraceptives. Lori Nash has a child because she threw away her birth control pills before her mother could find them. Each year, over 1 million teens get pregnant. What can be done? Join me, Richard Bay, for Children of Children, Sunday night at 7, immediately followed by a live discussion with teens from the tri-state area, an A+ for Kids presentation.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Van Hackett. Here's what we're working on for Channel 9 News. Police are searching for 2 suspects in the shooting of 2 police officers. We will have a live report and the latest on the investigation. For the 3rd time in 24 hours, a law enforcement official has been shot, this time a DEA agent. We'll be talking live to Special Narcotics Prosecutor Sterling Johnson about the recent rash of shootings. And we'll also tell you about the progress that is being made in the effort to rescue those whales in Alaska. That's all coming up on Channel 9 News at noon. And now, back to Richard Bay and more of People Are Talking.
Welcome back. Thanks, Ben. Well, I guess just because you're fat doesn't mean you can't be a femme fatale. We're going to be looking at some lingerie for the woman who has the femme fatale in her psyche. Some lingerie for larger women. Diane brought this from her collection, the Westminster Lady. It's a business that she founded a year ago after, as you heard, she couldn't find sexy fashions for large-sized women. You're going to be explaining some of these fashions to us, right? Our first model this morning is Bev in red satin, I guess, right?
Yes, Bev is wearing a red satin pajama set that actually is from Janelle, California. I do not manufacture at this time all of my lingerie. This is a company in California who decided to meet the needs of a large-sized woman and have done so beautifully in this sort of holiday outfit. The closure front is with pearl buttons, very loose and very soft and very sexy. Steph?
You feel sexy?
Always.
You do?
I always feel sexy.
This looks fantastic on you. Do you have a boyfriend?
Date.
You date?
Yeah.
What do men say to you when they go out with you? Do you think do they have a special attraction to you because you're larger?
Probably. I think usually it's because of my personality.
Because of your personality. That's what's most important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look fantastic. Second model is Kathy.
Kathy is wearing a very soft, feminine nightgown. This is out of nylon. It's made by Lady Romance. The ruffle on the front can be very playful, as you can just sort of slide it off the shoulder and be sort of vampy with it.
Don't get us too excited, Kathy. This is a morning show.
Both the pajama set that Beverly was wearing and this nightgown that Kathy is wearing retail in the neighborhood of $50, and they can be found through the mail order catalog that I have, and they are in sizes 1X to 4X, which
What
is
does that mean, X?
women's dress size 14 through 24. They do not go beyond that, but we have some fashions that will.
Are they more expensive than other fashions because there's more material
Yeah,
involved?
there's more material. The manufacturers say that there's more work involved, and I think that there is in some of the garments. So, of course, all that has to be taken into consideration.
And thank you, Kathy. Terry is our next model. Terry is wearing?
Terry is wearing a nightgown that's been made exclusively for the Westminster Lady by a company called The Fitting Image, and it's owned and operated by Jude Bruno, who is a NAFA member. This nightgown is 100% cotton, very loose. We call it the Juliet. It sort of looks like something that Juliet would have worn when Romeo was around. Terry is a writer in New York City and agreed to come in and model for us today.
Thank you. And finally, we have Nora.
Nora is wearing one of our really special, this is a nightgown. It's a black stretch lace bodice with a poly charmeuse skirt. It comes in this combination as well as a white lace bodice across the top and an apricot colored skirt. It is the most expensive thing we have in our line. It's made by Fitting Image here in New York City. Retails for $108. Thank you, Nora.
Thank you, Nora. Bev?
You know, Bev is back with another outfit from Janelle of California. Janelle really does some nice things. This is a very pretty, very soft night shirt. They do some very romantic things. Also made of poly charmeuse, very soft lace. Comes in apricot and champagne lace as well as this mint. And it retails for about $36.
Thank you, Beth. Next is Kathy.
We were asked to bring some sexy things, and something that has only recently been introduced to the large-size woman is exercise wear. And women are wearing it for fun, not so much for exercising, although women are wearing it for both. This particular line is made from, it's called Invitation to the Dance. It's by Heidi of California. It's made of a four-way stretch nylon lycra, which is one of the best types of nylon lycra you can have. It's very, gives you a lot of support. And I think it looks great.
Thank you, Kathy. Next is Terry.
Deb did a fast change there. Bev is wearing one of the old manufacturers that just got into a large size is Gilligan & O'Malley. This is their boutique collection. She actually has on a Missy large size, but they have such a full cut that she was able to wear this. This robe is brushed cotton with satin applique. It's about $70. And underneath, she's wearing a teddy. The teddy is made out of a petty point stretch nylon lycra lace and is also made by Fitting Image. It's exclusive for the Westminster Lady. The teddy retails for about $49.
Oh, we have one more, and then we're going to take a look at all of our models.
Nora has on one of the prettiest outfits I think we have. This isn't your lingerie outfit, but this is, again, a piece of our exercise wear. She's wearing our swing cape, which women are wearing to the office, out for play. It comes with skirts and pants that match, but she decided today to wear something a little different underneath. She's wearing a purple unitard and a dance brief, we call it, made out of snakeskin, a lycra snakeskin print. The unitard retails for about $54, $59. The pants are $24, and the cape is $87.
Okay, can we have all of our models come out and take one last look, please? You had a comment to make about this, yes?
They exude happiness.
They exude happiness. And you know what I think, too, and I started to realize this just as I was watching it, that I think that Oprah Winfrey had a lot to do with our acceptance of larger women as being stylish. She's one... Well, we have somebody down here who doesn't agree with that, I guess. But I think that she made styles for larger women very acceptable. She's one of the most stylish people you can imagine on the air. Did many of you find her as a role model when you saw her on TV? Anybody up there?
Long before Oprah came along.
I know, but Oprah was the one who got all the publicity, was on the air and was the first...
It's a shame we had to wait for somebody like that to do it for us, that people couldn't accept us on our own.
It is a shame, but thank God it happened.
And now she looks anorexic.
Do you want her to gain weight now?
No, I don't, but she was perfectly fine.
Wait a second, she does. What do you say to Oprah?
Yes, Oprah, please gain weight. I think you're a fabulous woman and really a role model for full-figured women. Yeah, absolutely.
Oprah, if you're watching, go out and have lunch on us. We're going to take a break right now. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Levitt's biggest sale. There will never be a better time to buy furniture.
There's a lot of excitement when recruiters come to Apex Automotive School.
We believe in hiring Apex graduates because they have state-of-the-art training. The caliber of graduates is high because the caliber of their training is so high. This is the one automotive school I recommend.
Be in demand as an Apex Automotive graduate. Call 212-633-6300 for a tour of Apex. That's 212-633-6300.
Homeowners, get new windows for your entire home for $65 a month. Don't worry about money. No money down, no payments for up to 4 months. Alco pumps 4 inches of insulation on both sides of your new windows free. Alco's 4 inches of insulation saves more heat than any ordinary installation. Alco has all the best features. Buy 4 windows, get the 5th one free. Free bonus with your order. Call now for free estimate or free booklet. Alco will not be undersold.
Now there's a magical reading course on cassettes called Hooked on Phonics, which makes learning to read simple. Simple because Hooked on Phonics is set to music. This way kids learn phonics quickly, like a song. And when they master phonics, they can read and spell almost everything. So if you want your preschooler to become an excellent reader, or if there's an older student who needs reading help, call 1-800-ABCDEFG. That's 1-800-ABCDEFG.
Can a wealthy Texan make it big as a private eye? He can if his name is Matt Houston. And he'll go to just about any length to get his man or woman.
You blew it, Houston. You really blew it.
Catch Matt Houston tonight at 6 here on Channel 9.
The New York-New Jersey regional economy has grown remarkably, but future growth depends on moving goods and people more efficiently. The 17 metropolitan counties are unified by our transportation system. Today, that system is choked with congestion, from Princeton to Riverhead, all because local political boundaries keep us from working together. We must cooperate for a regional transportation network that meets our growing needs, or there won't be much of an economic future.
Questions and comments? Good morning. You're on People Are Talking. Speak out.
Hi. I am an overweight person. I'm like...
What do you mean overweight?
Huh?
You're overweight?
Yeah, I'm fat.
We haven't used the word overweight here today.
But I feel that I am overweight.
How much do you weigh?
I weigh about 280.
280. And what do you think you should weigh?
I think I should weigh about 150.
Okay. And what is your question?
I don't like myself. I'm afraid to go outside. I hate myself the way I am. My husband is very thin. And, I mean, he says he loves me for the way I am, but I just don't like myself, period, because I used to weigh, like, let's see, I was at, like, almost 200 pounds. I mean, yeah, about 200 pounds, and I went on this diet where I got shots in the hips, and I took pills, and I lost 30 pounds, and I just talked myself into where I thought that I was getting addicted to it.
You don't love yourself?
No.
Do you think your husband loves you?
Yes.
All right, he loves you, and he loves you for who you are.
Yeah.
And he loves you at this weight.
Uh-huh.
And you believe that?
Yeah, but, I mean, I'm not happy with the way I am.
But why?
Because I want to be able to go outside and have nobody look at me the way I am. I just get so embarrassed because I hear people saying things about me every time, and it just gets embarrassing, and I'm afraid to embarrass my husband, and I just am afraid that, I just get afraid that he's going to leave me or something because...
But he tells you that he loves you.
I know. It just hurts. It hurts to be this way. I've always been overweight my whole life. But I want to be thin. I want to be able to do things. I want to be able to go out and run with my daughter. I have a little 9-month-old. And when she gets old enough, I want to be able to go out and play with her and nobody, I don't know. I just wish it.
Listen to the pain of this woman. This is what our medical society and our fashion industry has done to the fat women in this country to make them feel like that.
All right, but here's a story, and you can't help but be empathetic to this person. What can she do?
She needs to join an organization like NAFA. She needs to meet us. We need to talk to her. We need to convince her that she's fine the way she is. She doesn't have to change herself to fit in society. Her husband loves her. There are millions of thin women in this country who have no husband to love them. And this woman has a husband to love her. If she lost weight, her husband may leave her because he likes a fat woman. There's a lot of men in the closet who love fat women and who are married to fat women. They might not say, I love fat women, because it's just as unacceptable for those men to admit that. But he could just as well leave her. Let her be happy with her husband, enjoy her life, play with her child, and come to a support group to learn how to love herself the way she is. Things that she's talking about that she wants to do, she can do now, she can do today. It's a matter of changing it here. It's a matter of changing the way she feels about herself.
Ma'am, you still there? You know, so many people have felt the same way that you feel right now. And they've gone on a trip, on a journey to get to the point where they are right now, and it's taken some work, and it takes some strength and some soul searching. Are you calling from our area, New York, New Jersey?
No, I'm calling from Delaware.
From Delaware. I'm sure that they have a chapter in Delaware. If you stay tuned to this program, at the end of the show, we're going to be giving out a number and an address where you can write to get some support from people who know how you feel and have gone through what you're going through. So please stay tuned. And if there's anything more we can do for you, give us a ring upstairs in the office after the show, okay?
Okay.
Okay, and be happy for a few moments now, okay?
Okay.
There are people here who care about you.
Thank you.
She can address her mail to any of us and send it to the address that you're going to show, and we'll get it and answer her personally.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling us. She had a young daughter, and of course she has concerns about her daughter. You had a question about their children.
Yes. I was wondering if any of you women up there have children, and if you do they also have an obesity problem?
Well, you say obesity problem. Do they have a problem?
Well, no. Society would think so, but if they don't think so, then...
It depends. Who is society? We are society. When we change our minds, we're society, and we change the minds of society. People who watch a talk show, sometimes they get enlightened, sometimes they don't. depending on the show they're watching, but if they watch this one, hopefully they'll get enlightened. But we can change our minds. And also, as an individual, you can change your mind, and your self-image and your impression of what society is probably the place to begin. About your children. Do any of you have children?
I do. I had a daughter 5 years old.
Are you concerned about her weight or
No.
about... Not at all. If she grows up and is the same weight that you are now,
She'll be my daughter, though.
that's it. Okay, we're going to take a break right now. We'll take more of your phone calls, more viewer questions, and some surprises when we continue. Stay with us.
At a prestigious cheese competition in New York, Kraft enters its Cracker Barrel cheddar. There it is judged against other great cheddars for taste, texture, and body. And there it has been judged to be the best. Year after year after year, Cracker Barrel cheddar, winner of 17 gold medals. So when will it win you over? Cracker Barrel, judged to be the best.
When you've suffered an injury, time is important. Wait too long and you may lose the opportunity to collect any money for your loss. Call the Injury Helpline. Discuss your case with an attorney near you for free, one who practices in this field of law. You'll learn about the cost of pursuing your claim, and you won't be charged any attorney fees unless you receive money for your injuries. Call the Injury Helpline now, 1-800-537-1880.
There's always work for a good mechanic. The way to learn is working alongside a pro here at Apex Tech. Engines, transmissions, electrical, carburetors, fuel injection, brakes. As you learn how to use each tool, it goes into your toolbox. In 6 months, you get your certificate. We recommend you for a job. Your toolbox is full, yours to keep. It's that simple. Call us. Oh, and find out how much financial assistance towards your training you're entitled to from the government. Now, I can't call you. Get up and call us now. 633-6300.
When it comes to large sizes, come to Charisma.
Judith Ann designs with you in mind a truly glamorous evening wear collection when that special occasion calls for a dazzling look in beaded and sequined gowns, separates, cocktail dresses, and especially mother of the bride styles. You won't get lost in a crowd when you wear an elegant Judith Ann creation.
Charisma. Designer fashions in large sizes.
For the Charisma nearest you, call 212-BIG-GAL.
My phone was tapped. My mail was looked through.
It's been a secret for 25 years.
Some threats were even against my children.
Over 36 people have lost their lives for what they know.
The FBI told me not to talk.
On a live nationwide broadcast, Jack Anderson will rip the lid off the greatest conspiracy of our time.
I'm scared.
Who murdered JFK?
Find out on a special live presentation November 2nd on Channel 9.
I hope that young lady from Delaware is still watching, because you have a story that might give her some encouragement. You were married?
I do. I was married to a man that weighed 375 pounds. The day I got married, I weighed 98 pounds. I now have 3 children. The first time I became pregnant, I went to the doctor, and he said to me, "You're kidding. How did you?" And I said, "If there's a will, there's a way." And he loved me. And he always loved me. And he was always very proud. He was a chef by profession. He was also a special police. He was hunting and fishing. He was always very, very active. His weight never bothered him. He was always very proud of himself and carried himself well.
And you loved him?
I still do.
You still do, but he passed away.
He passed away at the age of 30 because medical profession was not equipped or knowledgeable enough to treat him for nothing more than staph blood poisoning.
So it really had nothing to do with his weight.
No.
But you accepted him out that way and loved him out that way.
He was a very handsome man. There was more to love and more to hold on to.
Yes.
You know, that's true. I find I'm not terribly attracted to a lot of thin people, and I think when I think back on it, I have always had that ever since I was very young. Thin, people didn't look healthy to me.
You're not
Little people
prejudiced
look
against
healthy.
us, though, are you?
No.
If I walked out, I shouldn't be afraid to go out. If I go down the street, you're not going to go, chicken legs. You're not going to go, skeleton.
Well, that's the point. You know, I accept you, even though I mean, I don't see anything wrong with you, but I've seen women on the beach where you see their rib cage, their hip bones, and these tiny bikinis, and they think they look great. I can't imagine a man wanting to, you know, be with a woman who looks like a skeleton. But this is their image of themselves, and they're happy with it.
You know something? I'm glad you don't see anything wrong with me. I don't see anything wrong with you either.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'd like to thank all of you for joining us today. I'd also like to remind you that the models that we had today came to us courtesy of Elegant Extras. And we do have some phone calls, some phone numbers, and some addresses where you can contact support groups that can help you if you're having a problem like that lady who called us from Delaware. For more information on the fashions that you've seen today, you can call Diane Wildowski at Westminster Lady, 212-243-6891. And if you would like to get some information about the support group, the National Association to Aid Fat Americans, Post Office Box 18860, Sacramento, California, 95818, and their phone number is 916-443-0303. And if you'd like more information or you couldn't grab a pen fast enough, you can also get that information from our People Are Talking hotline, as always. Have a great afternoon, you guys. But don't you go away, because we're going to be right back after these news headlines. Stick around.
Shannon's portrait is all I have left of her now.
Duncan, you have always been subject to these dark Celtic moods. It's a beautiful Indian summer day. Come for a walk with me.
Duncan, are you so blind you can't see Teresa's in love with you? It's she who's a threat to Shannon, not I.
Bonnie Franklin has been sitting here holding us spellbound with stories of Tony the Horse Mushanti. I swear you've never heard anything like it. Debbie Reynolds on the show tomorrow. The great singer Freddie Jackson will be here, too.
Chef Tell with the recipe for the perfect pumpkin pie and Spendaholic.
That's right, people who can't stop.
I gotta hit Bloomingdale's right now.
Bonnie, have a wonderful stay here, okay?
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Bye-bye.
I'm going to come.
Some members of our studio audience will receive the following. For silky smooth skin, one-touch roll-on waxer. Long-term hair removal at home with salon-style results. From the hair removal specialists Inverness. Now Lee has made the French manicure easy and affordable with Lee press-on nails. The French manicure. Johnny Cat premium cat litter. Johnny Cat and a little privacy is all any cat needs. Vaseline Lip Therapy protects your lips from chapping, covers more completely for healing and soothing relief. Kathy Lee Gifford's clothing, courtesy of Maison Mendesol at the Plaza Hotel. Regis Philbin's clothing, courtesy of Colors by Alexander Julian for the Drought Company.
Think about a second mortgage home equity loan. At Champion, mortgages are our only business, and nobody does it better. We offer low fixed rates for qualified homeowners. Whatever your mortgage needs, regardless of your credit background, Champion works hard to get you results, and fast, usually within a few days. Call today and apply by phone in just a matter of minutes, or ask for our free brochure. And remember, when your bank says no, Champion says yes.
In recent taste tests between Weaver and the leading national brands of frozen chicken, the blue ribbon went to Weaver time after time. Weaver chickens exceed even government standards for quality, and our many delicious recipes cook up crisp, tender, and juicy. So naturally, people prefer Weaver, and we're always working to keep it that way. Because when you're the taste people prefer, you can't just rest on your ribbons. Weaver, the blue ribbon chicken in the bright blue box.
If I didn't work on Citrus Hill, I would have thought my kids get enough calcium. But just because you give them milk and cheese doesn't mean they finish it. What we did was add bone-building calcium to 100% pure orange juice. Fresh, delicious juice. So you know your kids will drink it. Valerie loves it. To her, it's juice. To me, it's calcium she needs.
Clara Nin makes Citrus Hill Plus calcium for her family and for yours.
Channel 7, WABC-TV, New York.
Almost everyone these days wants to be fit and trim. Everyone, except for my first two guests. Please meet Vicki Reed and Carrie Hemenway. They realize that most people consider them to be very overweight. Yet Vicki and Carrie eat anything they want, they never diet, and they rejoice in the fact that they are fat. And by the way, that's their word, fat. I cringe when I say it. Now meet Kate Gyllenhaal. Kate is a personal fitness and exercise instructor. And this is Laura Stein. Laura is diet and nutrition counselor. Kate and Laura's jobs are to get women like Vicki and Carrie to lose all those extra pounds and teach them the benefits of staying thin and trim. Vicki and Carrie, let me begin with you. If you could instantly become as thin as our other two guests, the one sitting next to you, would you still want to be fat?
I'm happy the way I am, Sally. I don't want to change who I am. I have a full life, I have a normal life, and I'm celebrating who I am.
What about you?
Well, all of the strengths that I have come from, as a person, come from my growing up as a fat person in a fat-hating society. And we use the word fat because we want to decriminalize it. Fat is not a four-letter word. It's simply another descriptive word, like tall, blue-eyed, black skin. We're fat. It's a normal part of the continuum. We have very thin, not so thin, very fat.
All right. You're proud to be fat?
We feel good about who we are. I'm in my shape. This is who I am. And you don't ask a black person if they would like to be white, if their lives would be different, and I feel that's how it is for me with my size.
Boy, that's an amazing comparison. Yeah. Are there benefits to being fat? What?
Okay, one benefit is I feel very powerful. I walk through a room and I have to have space to get through the room. The people have to look at my space. I have a presence to me. But that's because I feel good about myself. It wasn't always like that.
You too?
Me too. I'm a clinical instructor of an operating room, and when I stand up to give a lecture, everyone takes notice.
What are you thinking when you're
Sally,
watching them?
I lecture for my livelihood, and I have been previously not as thin as I am now, and I can tell you I feel a lot better walking into a room thin and fit and trim than I felt walking into a room when I was considerably heavier than I am now.
But you got to agree, they do have more presence than you do.
Yes, but how about being in control of their bodies? Are they actually in control of their bodies? Can they move the way they want to and have complete facility that way? I find that
Control is a good issue. When 4.5 years ago, I gave up dieting, and I was on the liquid protein diet. I was on Weight Watchers. I was on fasting, and I lost 100 pounds 3 different times, and each time gained it back plus more. I was always feeling like I was never in control of what I'm eating. 4.5 years ago, I made that decision. I'm not going to diet again. I will accept who I am. I'm a good person. That has nothing to do with whether you're a good person or not.
Wouldn't it be like...
And I have more control now over my eating than I did when I was dieting.
What about over your health, Vicki?
How about your physical control?
How about your physical control? I mean, I feel like you're asking us questions that come from a place of caring. You know, we care about you. We're concerned, and that's nice of you. You don't even know us to ask us how we control our health. I feel like I've never been healthier. I've never been more energetic. I work in a women's college in a highly visible position. I do workshops, I teach, I counsel, and I deliberately chose an office on the 3rd floor. Why? Because I go up and down those stairs all day long, and I don't huff and puff. My skinny clients huff and puff. They're not used to it. I think control is a very elusive issue in this day and age. There are anoretics who control, and they're dying from anorexia.
Yeah, but anorexia is one more extreme. This is an extreme, obesity is an extreme, and so is anorexia. I don't think anyone would say that anorexia is a healthy thing these days. That's very, everyone knows that
Kate,
it's unhealthy.
how do you answer? You're a fitness instructor. I have agreed with her. I've seen people who are very thin. They can't make 3 flights of stairs.
Well, you can be thin, and you can be out of shape as well.
And you can be fat, and you can be in shape.
Yeah. And you can be thin or fat and be malnourished.
Well, let me ask you, can you be fat and in shape? They just made a statement. Is that true?
It depends on what amount of, you can be less in danger with obesity if you are doing some kind of exercise program. But I feel that if you are fat, you are endangering your health in a physical way.
So you're saying you can't be fat and fit?
Well, I work with fat people a lot.
Fat people who are dieting?
Yes.
Yeah. Where Vicki and I are coming from is we stopped dieting, and in the organization that we're part of, NAFA, which is National Association for the Acceptance of Fat Americans, most of us have stopped dieting. And when that happens, we stop that yo-yo syndrome, stuff and starve, binge.
You know, people who...
I just want to finish that. What we find happens is our health and fitness level improves because we're not compulsively dieting, so we're not compulsively eating. And we feel better about ourselves, our self-esteem is higher, and our health improves. And we've seen studies where it's much more dangerous to be extremely thin than extremely fat. Lifelong studies.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Well, extremely thin may be one issue, but certainly obesity is considered an illness as a contributing factor to heart disease, to cancer, to diabetes, to a number of conditions that nobody wants to have. I find that when people come to Eat Healthy workshops, they also stop dieting. Eat Healthy workshop is not about dieting, it's about eating. And people come there really to learn how to eat because every diet works to take weight off. Temporarily. And your experience, exactly. Your experience is totally typical. People then, when they reach their ideal weight or their goal weight, they go back to the way they used to eat and the weight comes back on. What an Eat Healthy workshop is about learning how to eat so that you can eat for pleasure and enjoy the pleasure of food and feel good about yourself and be fit and be losing weight in the meantime and not have that yo-yo syndrome, because in fact you have to change your diet. And when you don't pay attention to what is being said about a low-fat diet, you endanger your health and you really are doing something to your... I assume that you have families who love you and people who you care about deeply, and I would be concerned that you would have a responsibility not just to yourself, but to them, to be around for them.
All right, let me ask you, what do you think? First of all, we have to ask our fat women, what are the other benefits? They're saying there are benefits to being fat. And then there's something else. Laura is saying she has these workshops where you're really not dieting, you're eating healthy, yet you cut out all sugar, all salt, all fats, all everything that everybody wants to eat. I think that's the most stringent thing you can possibly do. We're going to let them discuss this, and we hope you'll join in when we return.
If your kids have seats for a concert, listen up, because what can happen inside the arena is enough to frighten anyone.
I felt the pain, you know, I felt the wetness, and I saw the blood.
In Cincinnati, 11 died. Are your kids in danger? Now, Entertainment Tonight learns the shocking truth.
Once you fell, you could not get up and were subsequently trampled by the crowd.
Concerts that kill. The inside story on Entertainment Tonight.
Tonight at 7:30, right after Jeopardy, here on Channel 7.
iLab, glasses in an hour. And they do it right, at the right price. And this makes it even righter. iLab's Ideal. Neat, huh? Ideal is iLab's special department where you can save 50% off hundreds of quality frames, everyday low prices, and our 1-hour service. You can't beat that. Look for Ideals and save. iLab, glasses fast, glasses right, prices right. Call for an exam or bring in your prescription.
There's not enough money in the world to make me tell you something that I don't believe. But the reason I can feel comfortable, I mean, like people say, oh, you're an actress, you shouldn't be doing commercials. But the reason I can really feel comfortable, first of all, I do it. And secondly, if I knew a great secret or a great recipe or some great something, and I didn't share it with you, if I didn't let you in on it, you know, what kind of a person would I be? I'm letting you in on something.
besides just having a discussion between people who are thin and people who are heavy, all four of you have decided to come and be with us today. Now, obviously you've done that because you want society to know something. Let's start with you, Kate. What do you want people to know?
I think the main thing that I have found through running my company, Homebodies, which is basically a personalized fitness company, we design programs for individuals, a way they can exercise they'll really enjoy and have fun with. And I think the thing I want people to know is they can change their bodies.
They can change their bodies.
They can change their bodies, they can feel good in their bodies, and they can live a healthier and a happier life that way.
Laura, what do you want people to know?
I want people to know that you don't have to deprive yourself, that certain flavors are addictive, particularly sweets and salts and high-fat foods, and that you can absolutely retrain your appetite to crave food like pasta and potato and bread, and this is not about deprivation, and you can feel fabulous and eat just not only healthy, but enjoyably.
Okay, Vicki, what do you want people to know?
I want people to know that women and girls in this country are dying because of their fear of becoming fat. You do not have to be a size 8 to be happy.
And what about you, Carrie?
I want people to know that dieting is temporary. It'll work to a point, and then you'll gain it all back. And that there's a point where we need to accept who we are and love ourselves and get on with our lives. And not wait till we're thin, because we're not going to be thin, all of us.
Can I just say, one of the things you mentioned about going into a room and feeling that you're in control, but then you have to walk away from someone. What are they thinking? Number one, do you like the thought that they're thinking, how does she look in that dress? Is it sagging on her hips? Is it pulling on her hips? That's one thing. Secondly, I'd like to address this to gal in the beautiful blue dress there. You're a nurse. You've seen operations, and the danger in the operation of cutting through the layers of the fat. Have you given that any consideration? What does your doctor
take that question first?
Okay, yes, I do work in the operating room. And actually what it means is sometimes you need an extra assistant, sometimes you need a larger retractor, sometimes it takes an extra 10 minutes to close up an additional layer of tissue. It's a practical issue.
But it's not, all right.
Sally,
how do you feel about being discriminated against, or are you discriminated against in your work or with your friends because you are fat? How do you handle this?
I do not spend a day of my life without being discriminated or yelled at or put down in some way. Every single day I face this.
But would it occur to you maybe that, is any of the discrimination valid, or categorically should people never discriminate against fat people?
Discrimination's never valid, Sally.
Never.
And whether you agree with us or not, you're raising such a good point. Please remember, all discrimination is wrong.
All. There's no kernel of truth in that it might be healthier for you.
Discrimination based on looks, that's wrong.
You say that women and girls, a lot of people are dying every day, but heart disease is the leading killer in this country. And obesity is one of the main contributors, or maybe not the main contributors, but it is a contributing factor to heart disease.
There are also health benefits to obesity.
What are they? We said we were going to mention the benefits. What are the health benefits?
If you look at all the people who have had cancer in this country, far more who are thin have cancer than those who are fat. And if you look at those who do have cancer, they're going to lose 20 or 30 pounds. Those who are very thin to begin with may not be able to withstand it, especially lung, premenopausal breast cancer, colon cancer.
You're saying no?
No, breast and colon cancer in particular, and ovarian cancer and prostate cancer are known to be linked to a high-fat diet. So that I am not looking at statistics right now, but I can tell you that if you want to protect yourself against cancer, one of the major things that you can do for yourself is to put yourself on a low-fat diet.
Well, wait, you're assuming that fat people would be on a high-fat diet, and there are two myths I'd like to mention, Sally. One myth is that we're eating all the time, and the other myth is that we're dieting all the time. And studies have gone, over 100 meticulous studies have tried to prove that fat people as a group eat more than thin people as a group. Each study showed no measurable difference. We eat normally. Some eat more, some eat less. You're seeing the people who are still buying into society's myth that we can change our shape. And temporarily they will. Just temporarily.
It's not a myth.
Temporarily they will. That's not true.
It's not a myth. I've done it. It's more than
I've done it. I've helped many people do it. It's not a myth. You can change
Why are you so angry at us because we're saying something different?
I'm not angry at you. I don't. One of the main things that I find surprising, especially Vicki, you being a nurse, is that there are so many proven health problems behind obesity. You cannot deny that. It's frightening. There's heart disease, there's diabetes, there's osteoporosis, there's osteoarthritis, there's joint dysfunctions, and it's just
osteoporosis. There is a lower incidence in obese women because of their increased estrogen level, because of their increased fat. We have less hip fractures in obese women.
Well, the problem with carrying extra weight in your body is that your body is not designed to carry extra weight. You're putting incredible problems on your knees and on your hips, and I have a hard time believing that as a nurse you would commend that kind of...
Listening to Carrie and to Laura, and I'll say right up front, I'm here with Laura, their philosophies don't seem that much different when they just spout why they are doing what they do. Now, obviously, I have chosen the Eat Healthy program, and I eat to lose weight. I do all sorts of things to lose weight that sound exactly like what Carrie...
What do you eat? Tell me what you eat.
I eat, oh God, I eat so much. I eat vegetables, I eat meat, I eat bread, lots of bread. I eat
lots of bread, all kinds of bread, as much bread as you want?
At this point, yeah. Just about
you don't eat croissants?
I don't eat croissants. I do not eat butterfat at all.
Okay, but bread, would you eat white bread?
No, that's just my choice.
But you could. What do you put on the bread?
I put low-fat cottage cheese. I put meat. I put tuna fish. I put yogurt and mustard mixed with tuna fish.
We're always being told that white flour is bad for you, and you are eating as much bread as you want?
White flour bread.
Okay, what kind of bread do you eat?
Whole wheat flour bread. I eat sourdough bread. I eat lots of hard rolls, all of whole wheat.
What else? All right, you eat a lot of bread, what else? And all the vegetables you want. What else?
Pasta, lots.
Lots of pasta. What do you put on the pasta?
Marinara sauce, vegetable sauce.
Olive oil? Any oil?
No.
No oil at all. Anything else you eat? Anything sweet?
Naturally sweet foods. I eat a lot of fruit. I eat an awful lot of fruit. Probably more than even Laura would like me to eat. I eat a lot of fruit.
I wonder if that's healthy, all the bread you want.
I'm also here with Eat Healthy. I've lost 32 pounds with their diet. I also eat a lot of pasta and a lot of bread.
Well, let me ask you something. I was told it's the most restrictive of all the diets that people have tried to be on. Is that true?
Well, no, it's not true. I've tried every diet. Weight Watchers, I became addicted to the desserts. I had an addiction to sugar. So what Laura says is true. You do become addicted to certain foods. And sugar I was definitely addicted to. I was eating 4 to 6 Weight Watcher desserts for breakfast. And that is how I started my day off. Okay? Ice cream cake, if I passed by a croissant shop, I was in the croissant shop. Pizza parlor, in the pizza parlor. I was in all of these places. This young lady here in the blue is saying that she eats a normal amount of food. No offense, but I can't imagine that you eat a normal amount of food and you are the size you are unless you have a health problem. I ate a lot of food and I was fat because I ate a lot of food and I ate the wrong type of food. I eat a lot of food now, but it's good food.
And you have a picture of you where admittedly fat. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can we show that? That's you at what weight?
152.
And what are you now?
120.
All right.
Wait a minute.
What are you thinking when they applauded? What were you thinking?
I was thinking people always applaud when people say they've lost weight, always. And I think it's great you lost weight. I hope it works for you. But the figures we have is that of all the people who lose weight, 2 to 5% will keep it off over a 5-year period. Everybody else will gain it back and more. So what are we talking about? We're talking about a $32 billion diet industry that gives people hope. And we're talking about a 2 to 5% success range. Any physician prescribing a medical procedure would never prescribe anything in a 2 to 5% success range. You would say you're crazy, doctor, to prescribe that, yet diets are in that same range.
And Sally, nobody is suggesting that fad dieting and yo-yo dieting is good for anybody. The message, the eat healthy message, is that you have to change your diet. Because if you always want the foods that make you fat in the first place and you are depriving yourself of them and you go back to them, of course you're going to gain weight again.
I think it's really unfortunate when someone gains a lot of weight, and I think it shows a lot more confidence when someone is thin and feeling in shape and happy about themselves. I also feel like I've been battling my weight for ever since I was 10 years old, and
Vicki, should she stop battling?
I think she should.
She should stop battling. How would you feel about that?
Well, I feel like I would think that I looked terrible and I felt terrible, and I just don't think it's good to be a slave to food, always in the refrigerator. I know because...
Wait, she asked you a question.
Do I look terrible? I think I'm very attractive. I'm round and I'm abundant. Thank you.
I don't know.
Well, I think you may be attractive now, but I think if you lost a little more weight, you'd be even more attractive.
And
we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Early in the morning, before the world gets up, I find a little sunshine inside my coffee cup. What better way to start the day with the best of company than the good to the last of feeling of Maxwell House.
I think he's kind of sweet on you.
I see you tomorrow, Val. To the last of feeling of Maxwell House.
Bye, Mabel.
Do you love me? Let me do. Do you love me? I wanna do. Do you love me? I love you. You know I love you. Watch me now. Do you love me? I want you. Do you love me? Let me do. Do you love me? I love you. You know I love you. You're driving me crazy.
It's Giant Carpet's incredible carpet clearance. Incredible selection, incredible prices. 25 to 60% off with no extra charges. Giant Carpet's incredible clearance through Sunday.
Hi, I'm Murray Linder. Until now, if you wanted a bagel this delicious, you had to schlep to a bagel shop. But these are my Linder's big and crusty bagels. Just like a bagel shop bagel, we make it plump, golden, and crusty. So now anytime you want a really delicious bagel, you don't have to go to a bagel shop. Just go to your freezer.
Linder's big and crusty bagels. Bagel shop taste without the schlep.
The next time you leave a party, don't let your friend drive home after he's had a few drinks. You might just save his life. Remember, friends don't let friends drive drunk.
If you need help or someone just to talk to, call the Outlook program. St. Joseph's Medical Center, 914-378-76.
America works better when you care enough to vote. That's why the New York State Board of Elections reminds you on Election Day, Tuesday, November 8th, your right to vote.
Senior citizens don't retire a lifetime of experience. Join RSVP, the Retired Senior Volunteer Program. Call 614-5485.
Don't let puppy love lead to crocodile tears. Call St. John's Episcopal Hospital's Teen Incentive Program for Adolescent Pregnancy Prevention.
Let me ask you a question. This woman said that when you're heavy, you don't feel good about yourselves. Is that true?
Thank you. No, it's not true. And we're sitting here saying we feel good about ourselves. I feel good about myself. It took some work. It took some pain of years of people telling me I wasn't good enough, that who I was and what I looked for didn't fit with how the standards of beauty are. But Sally, those standards are learned. You know, Lillian Russell at her peak was over 200 pounds.
All right, but we've come, I think, to the point where we're thinner because would you not admit that, generally speaking, it is healthier to be thinner than you are? Would you not think that? I mean, as a nurse?
No, I do not necessarily
You do not feel that that is true.
Complete denial to say that being obese is not unhealthy.
There are
some health disadvantages to
But
being obese.
you can't
There are also positives to obesity.
I don't think there are any health, really strong health issues to being obese.
What are the positive ones, Nurse Vicki?
Well, I've already given them to you, but I
Less
guess
osteoporosis.
Well, also, to get back to that...
less lung cancer,
Less lung cancer.
less premenopausal breast cancer.
I'd like to also know what percentage overweight that is, because you can play with statistics sometimes so that it can look as if someone who's X% over, I would like to know whether you're talking about obese.
At all the life expectancy, the recent studies done in the last 10 years, from the very thin to the very heavy, the people who live the longest are those who are 20 to 30% over the Metropolitan Insurance chart.
Is that true?
Yes, it is. And I take my statistics from the Journal of Obesity and Weight Regulation.
I would question whether a life insurance company would set ideal height and weight guidelines if they didn't.
It's been happening for years.
It costs them money.
Yes, but part of the problem that
why did she dislike Weight Watchers? What was there about the program that you just didn't like?
Oh, I didn't like it. I just didn't lose weight on it.
Why? Any answer?
Well, I think we need to get all the way back down to set point theory. And for those of you who don't know, set point theory is what you're genetically predisposed to be. Some people will be very thin, some will be very heavy. And every single time you go on a diet, you interfere with your metabolic rate and your set point. Your body functions at a certain level, like putting coal
Right, but
into a
that doesn't
furnace.
say anything about Weight Watchers necessarily. When she was talking about insurance tables, you were going, no, no, no. Why?
I didn't mean no, no, no. At all. What I meant, I agreed with her because my husband is a retired physician, and he gets reports in many of the journals.
So we should be 20 to 30%?
We should be anywhere from 10 to 20 pounds more than we weigh.
Sally, I'd like to finish what I was on before, if I may. I brought the set point theory into it because every time you do go on a diet, you lower your metabolic rate. So maybe at the time when I tried Weight Watchers, my rate had already been lowered, and they were giving me too many calories.
Well, I was wondering what metabolism has to do with what a person's going to be regardless of what they eat, really,
And what do you mean? If all these 4 women are eating the same number of calories, which they apparently claim they
Do you
are.
know people who eat all the time and never gain an ounce? Well, I have 3 brothers like that. And I also have a sister who's having.
I was somebody who always felt that I could eat lettuce and mushrooms. That's what I thought I could eat, because if I ate the same amount as somebody else, I put on weight, and I used to be 35 pounds heavier than I am now. And what I learned was that if I exercised and I cut down on the proportion of fat in my diet, and actually the new studies now coming out show that it's the proportion of fat more than the calories.
Yeah, but how do you answer, Laura, those people who do eat all? We have someone on our staff who can eat 4,000 calories a day. That person is so
Of course
thin.
it's a metabolic issue, but if I were left myself to my own devices, I'd be much heavier than I am now. Metabolically, I cannot eat what that person can eat. So instead, I've altered what I eat, and I now eat more than I ever ate in my life. I eat a tremendous amount.
How many calories a day do you eat?
I don't know, but I would imagine it's probably 1,600 to 1,700 calories a day. And I used to swear that I gained weight at 900 calories a day. It was what I was eating. It's not the calories, it's what you eat.
I think you have to find the right program for your own body as well. I mean, I could eat something that I wouldn't gain weight with that Laura might, and it's a matter of personally finding the right thing for your own body and lifestyle.
Hi, I'd like to ask Vicki if she has a man in her life, someone special, perhaps?
That brings up a good point. When I discovered NAPA, which was about 4.5 years ago, when I went off my last diet, I found out that there are men in this world who truly prefer fat women to thin. I have never dated more than I have in the past 2 years, and yes, I do.
Do you have any problems facing the fact that you are overweight when you're with him alone?
The sex question.
Yes.
I have no problems at all.
I have no problems at all.
Do you have,
normal
however,
sexuality.
Vicki, do you have any concerns about your health and your future in your health being so obese, and the kind of stress it's putting on your heart and your organs and your joints?
and the possibility of diabetes and cancer? Are you not concerned with some of those issues about obesity? Are you just denying that that's a very big risk factor, being so obese, and that your body is not made to carry this kind of weight?
Yes, I have some concerns over the health issues. However, medical science does not have a cure for obesity. And you do not have a cure for obesity.
I have an answer. I do have an answer to take care of it and to begin to change it. I feel that what you are promoting is that it's okay to be obese, and it's not okay. It's dangerous.
And you're promoting that it's okay.
You're telling people out there that it's okay, and you're risking their future health.
Yeah.
You really are. I think
Absolutely.
that's very dangerous and frightening.
Yes, absolutely.
You are risking people's future health in telling them they can achieve something they can't.
They can.
Why do we have
No,
to tell women in this society to obsess on food, to be hungry all the time, to try to starve themselves and feel bad about themselves? Thank you.
Carrie. Nobody's telling people to obsess about food or be hungry all the time. I think part of what really gets people into trouble is that they absolutely don't know what it is they should be eating to be healthy and to be thin and to feel well. And I think that if you learn what it is you can eat all the time and eat enjoyably, and there is no need. I'm not into deprivation. It's not about deprivation.
I think that people are more intelligent than that. I don't think we need programs to teach us how to eat. I think we know about the 4 basic food groups. We can read. I don't think we need to invent
We die of diseases that kill us prematurely.
And people are smoking, and so does stress, and those are the biggest causes of death.
Yes, but people are more intelligent to believe that obesity is in any way healthy at all.
What we're watching here is a word that we call in our movement fatophobia, fear of fat, hatred and anger of fat. And it really rattles people's cages. The idea that we can say, look at us, we're breaking stereotypes, we feel good, we look good, we take care of ourselves, and we're healthy, and it's very hard
But
for people
I
to
think,
believe that.
is it possible that you are saying that as an answer because of your weight? In other words, you know, one might join an organization as a self-fulfilling prophecy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
It could be possible in some cases. It certainly isn't in mine. In mine, I stopped looking at the psychological and started looking at the physiological, at the studies, and I started talking to other people and realized that accepting yourself as you are and not battling, not pushing the river when the river can't be pushed, can be empowering.
But if you accept yourself the way you are, you say, I love myself, this is the way I am, then don't you want to take care of your body and fuel your body with good food?
I do.
And exercise your body with healthy exercise?
I do all that.
Well, I'd be interested in what your diet is like and what your exercise program is like.
But that's not an issue. I am not asking you if you're concerned about osteoporosis. I'm not asking you if you're concerned about gum disease or diabetes or heart disease or uterine cancer. And I think that what we're doing here, we don't need to be battling each other because I think we do have some common points. But what we're doing here is basically not respecting the basic innate intelligence of, we have advanced degrees, we're intelligent women, believe what we're saying and maybe listen. We may have something to teach you.
I'm not
We've
denying
heard
that
what
you're
you've said
intelligent
many
women, but
times.
I find it hard to believe that you are saying that obesity is not an unhealthy thing. And what you're saying, you're denying.
You're denying that we can lead full lives.
Wait, question.
All right. I think overweight is one thing. I think obesity is quite another. I think you are asking us all to give our okay for the way you look. And living in this society right now, it's not okay, health-wise, for your heart. I think you're lying to yourself in a way, Laura, Vicki, that you wouldn't like to look like Laura. I think if you're normal, it would be normal to want to say, I want to look like Laura if you're obese.
Well, how do you feel about that?
Okay. I think that Laura looks fine. I also think that I look great, too.
And you would not want to look like her?
No.
All right. Do you believe her?
No.
Why?
Well, I just lost 40 pounds myself.
You see, once again, do you ever get applause when somebody says, I've gained 40 pounds? I'm wondering.
No, Carrie is my mother, and I live with her every day, and I know she feels good about herself. I know that she eats no more than I do. And I think she's a very beautiful woman. I think that she's a very self-confident
Then what do you think is going on here?
I think a lot of issues. I think that people, I think they have the same basic idea, but they're not, you all believe you all believe that pushing your body and pushing your weight and yo-yoing is wrong and is not good for you. And it's just the issue of health.
Aren't you concerned about your mother's health, being obese and all the different risk
I'd be much more concerned if she was an alcoholic. I'd be much more concerned if she was doing drugs. I'd be much more concerned if she was doing other things.
Laura, what do you, I'm going to ask you a question and we'll take a break and come back and answer it, I hope. What would you say if there was somebody who was eating 1,600 calories a day, exercising all the time, a moderate amount, 45 minutes a day, which I think you would assume is a moderate amount, and yet they were still 40 pounds overweight because that was their metabolism? What would you say? We'll take a break. We'll come right back. Okay.
Over the years, we've done very well, thank you, selling these little red cans of Contadina tomato paste. Well, now we're introducing Contadina pasta sauces, like this rich, creamy Alfredo sauce, or this hearty tomato and mushroom sauce. 6 delicious pasta sauces in all made by Contadina. Gee, we hope this doesn't cut into our tomato paste business.
Ladies and gents, your attention, please.
You say you want a crib, stroller, high chair, playpen, car seat, or a toy?
You say you want courteous service and low discount prices?
You say you want a big selection?
All that and save money, too? Well, if we got the place for you. Coronet is open 7 days a week, where you get giant discounts for little people.
That's right, folks. Coronet for baby furniture and toys, but no talking orangutans.
Coronet, 1111 Old Country Road, Westbury.
Your daddy's sailing home today from so far away. You know you've got your daddy's face, his smile. But oh, your dad's been gone a while. It's gonna be a time, a joy, darling, to meet your baby boy. We've shared your joy, we've dried your tears, we've touched your life through all these years.
With the softest Kleenex tissue ever.
Kleenex says bless you.
At Pearl, we know there are lots of reasons to get a spare pair of glasses.
For reading, of course.
For sports, you know, b-ball.
Ooh, these go with my outfit.
Well, now at Pearl, you can get that second pair free.
I lose stuff.
Look for the Pearl Pairs in Reader's Digest, women's magazines, or your local paper. Present the coupon when you buy a pair of glasses, and that spare pair is yours for the best reason of all.
Hey, they're free.
Let me get Laura to answer that question. Laura, what would you say if I presented someone to you who weighed 30 pounds overweight, yet they're on 1,600, have always lived on 1,600 calories?
Well, I don't think they would have
and
always
they are
lived.
exercising.
I think that if somebody is following a healthy diet, if somebody buys my book, The Bloomingdale's Eat Healthy Diet, or follows a healthy diet, and they exercise.
You're saying there's going to be nobody like that?
And they haven't lost weight. They simply need to wait, to keep doing it, and the weight will come off. Your body is a machine. It's a bank. Even if you have a slow metabolism, your metabolism will adjust, and you may need to up your exercise, but you do not need to cut your calories. It's the wrong thing to do. Your body will think it's starving, and it will slow down to protect itself. You need to eat, you need to cut down the percentage of fat in your diet, and you need to exercise. And if it comes off slowly, that's fine, but over a period of time, you will be at an ideal weight for you.
Okay. Now, you're saying that's not so. You just raised your hand.
Yes. No, the doctor thinks I should weigh 134 pounds.
What do you weigh?
158.
And what do you do with your time?
I go swimming twice a week. I swim half a mile each time. I teach yoga. I bowl. I walk my dog. I do a lot of things. I keep very active,
You
but
do more aerobic exercise, what you need to do. Swimming is very good for the body, but it's not aerobic.
It's not aerobic.
And you need to
I don't like aerobics.
Well,
Aerobics gives me a headache.
You can do walking.
It's too fast.
Stress the walking.
Hey, she's got a point. Here's a lady who is eating healthy.
I don't know that she's eating healthy.
Are you eating healthy?
I am.
Yeah, well, I mean, we would need to sit.
Salads, soups,
Do
homemade
you put dressing on your salad?
Very little, or not at all.
There are ways to get aerobic activity that you can enjoy.
But she doesn't like aerobics.
If you walk your dog. You like to walk your dog,
My
right?
daughters took me for aerobics.
You like
I got
to
a
walk?
headache. I gave up.
Walking.
I asked
Walking
them
is
to
a
do
great
yoga,
form
and they
of
can't do
aerobic
yoga.
exercise.
Yeah, why does, now what you're saying exercise is one thing, and then you're saying, well, we all have to exercise the way you think we should exercise. We all have to do aerobics.
No.
How many of you hate aerobics?
No. Sally, don't misunderstand the term aerobic.
Yeah.
You can walk aerobically.
It doesn't mean jumping up and down in place for an hour and hating it. You can find wonderful ways to do aerobic
You can
work.
walk aerobically.
But we're told swimming is one of the best. This lady's swimming half a mile twice a week.
Swimming is great, but it's not aerobic. You have to do something that's aerobic.
Okay, back to square one. What do you think?
Well, I've been battling weight all my life, and I remember going to bed crying when I was 8 years old, saying, I just want to be normal, and I would love to look like Laura, but the fact of the matter is, I have been on the Scarsdale diet, I have been on Weight Watchers, I have fasted, I have done any kind of diet, any kind of fad diet, and any kind of regular diet that you could think of. The only thing that has made me lose weight is actually the times that I felt good about myself. 3 years ago, I stopped, and I thought, no more diets. I'm going to feel good about myself and try to accept myself for the way I am. The reason why people who are heavy can't is because, like the woman over there says, it's not all right for me to be heavy. And she has no right to say that because maybe I don't like her here. But I wouldn't tell her that. And you just don't, Sally, it's just like saying, well, you have a big nose, or I don't like the color of your eyes. And she's right.
I think the issue here, though, more cosmetically, is a health issue, that it's dangerous to be obese. And the clients that I work with...
Aren't we scaring people to death with this? Aren't we saying, what did your mother look like?
My mother right now she's overweight, but she's not extremely overweight.
Isn't there a destiny about people, and aren't we making some people feel absolutely awful, and they have to get on the scale every 2 minutes, and they've got to live with eating all this?
No, I think it's the contrary. I think that if you are fasting and doing a lot of things that are probably not healthy for you, you're going down the wrong track. But I think that the message that we want to get out to people is that you shouldn't give up on yourself, and that you can eat well, and if you get out and start to at least walk, you don't have to do what you think of as aerobics, that you can, over time, really have a body that is healthier and makes you feel better about yourself.
And that same body might be a bigger body, but it might be healthy and feel good. Sally, it's so important that we look at the messages we get. Wouldn't it be lovely if somebody said to me, you look so good and you're going to live a long life? That message about health, we're talking about a lot of variables here, and we're talking about a stabilization, and we're talking about people refusing to change their concept of beauty, which is a learned concept.
Aha.
And Sally.
So are we learning the right thing? We'll take a break. We'll come right back.
If you own a home, check out Statewide Capital. We'll be glad to show you how to get a personalized, custom-tailored home equity loan that meets your special needs at excellent rates that are fixed for up to 15 years with fast approvals and no prepayment penalties. Borrow $10,000 to $250,000 or more. Simply call our toll-free number, 1-800-DIAL-CASH. That's 1-800-DIAL-CASH.
Hello, Statewide Capital.
You really got to move fast to keep up with the Channel 7 Eyewitness News team. Oh, there you go. They zoom in here, fill it up, and zoom. They're on the move again. Hey, Carol. Up. When you work around the Eyewitness News team, you got to move fast, just like they do. That's what makes them so good. And boy, are they good.
Eyewitness News. They are good.
Madam, one mustn't eat popcorn in a concert hall.
I would never do that.
Pretzels, potato chips, that sort of thing.
I would never do that.
What are you eating?
Stellador breadsticks.
Breadsticks?
Light, delicious, fun to eat.
Madam, please hand over the breadsticks.
No, I would never do that.
Oh, my favorite. Sesame.
Stellador breadsticks. They're not just for meals.
Senior Action Line volunteers provide information, referral, and intervention. Weekdays 11 to 1, 669-7670.
Police need your help in apprehending criminals who've committed violent felonies. Call Crime Stoppers at 577-TIPS. That's 577-TIPS.
Although Westchester is one of the most affluent areas in the nation, it ranks among the highest in the rate of homeless women and children. Grace Church Community Center provides programs that work.
Vicki, did you want to say something?
Yes. Right now, the audience and our fellow guests are feeling hostile. And it's the same sort of hostility and discrimination that we as fat people in this society feel every single day. And there's some points I'd like to bring up. The ability to be loved, to love someone else, to make a worthwhile contribution to our society is not dependent upon someone's size. It's time for our society to be more accepting of the large ones and the small ones, because there is room for everyone.
Well, I think it's great that Carrie has such a wonderful attitude, and I think it should be more like that. And I think Vicki's right. I was feeling hostile the other way because I think, there's too much prejudice against the overweight people. And I just want to ask the girl on the end, why has she got so much hatred toward anybody that's not eating right or is a few pounds overweight? What happened to her that she's so upset or so obsessed? Is she here to sell something or to be happy like Carrie is?
No, I have no hatred at all. In fact, I have a lot of concern for people and their bodies. And I worry about the fact that the health issues, the people that I work with who have been concerned with high blood pressure and high cholesterol
and that is the concern that continues to fund this $32 billion a year weight loss industry. I don't think that you're concerned about us. I think you want to make money.
I went on Laura Stein's Eat Healthy Diet. I did not join her workshop. I did it at home. I read her book, and I was in very poor health. I wouldn't have made it another year. I had 5 grandchildren at that time, and I looked at them, and I got so upset to the fact that I couldn't do anything with these children that I do with my own children. So I read this, and I said, I'm going to try. I was 335 pounds, and today, 2 years later, I am 144, and I'm never going to be fat again. And I'm not prejudiced. I'm not prejudiced. I'm not against anybody who's fat. I was fat. I was there. But I'm never going to be sick again.
You're just healthier now.
I'm healthier, happier.
But what about looks? Laura, why do we have to look thin? Why do we have to look thin?
I actually don't. I think that when people get away from that, I have to look thin, that's actually the wrong motivation. When you are only concerned with how you look, you will go on a diet to lose weight, and success will do you in. Because when you lose the weight, you will go back to the way you used to eat. I don't think it's about how you look. I think it's about how you feel.
I just wanted to ask you a question. You wrote a book, okay? Yes. There's so many books out. I've read 4, 5, 6 books. They all say something different. One says eat in the morning. One says don't eat until 12. Who do you believe?
There's actually no mystery about the kind of diet you should be on. The diet I recommend in the Bloomingdale's diet book, which is in paperback, you can get it. You don't have to necessarily come to the workshop, is a high-fiber, low-fat diet. The difference is I treat certain flavors as addictive, things that are sweet or salty or fat. And I say that the more you eat them, the more you crave them. So that if you really want to lose weight permanently, you have to change what you crave so that you are happy eating pasta and bread and the kinds of foods we were talking about.
No, you're right. How do we know your book is right when
there's a lot of research
out there?
There's a lot of research that's pointed to in the book, and actually all medical and scientific authorities really agree on the kind of diet you should
Laura, let me disagree with you. I think we didn't do it, but we could get a lot of doctors who would say that eat all the bread you want and eat a lot of bread is really bad for
Well,
your health.
that's not what my diet is. It's a complex carbohydrate. Complex carbohydrates are fruits, vegetables, whole grains. There's fish, there's chicken, there's meat once a week. There's plenty of low-fat dairy to help protect against osteoporosis. It's a very well-rounded, well-balanced, not extreme diet. It's easy to eat and stay on and live with. So that we were talking about some of the pluses. A lot of people think, well, I shouldn't eat pasta if I want to lose weight. It's that you shouldn't have butter on the pasta or the cream.
Okay, but there are a lot of people who feel that you can take an awful lot of olive oil, and there are people who believe you should drink juices. You say in your book, don't drink any juices at all.
Well, my own prejudice against juice is when you want to lose weight, I rather see people having the fiber. I'm not saying juice is unhealthy. I'm just saying it's a concentrated
You're right.
form
I
of
don't
sugar.
know how we know what diet book. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.